So first, what are we required? You are required to prepare trading and profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March 19 and balance sheet as on that date. Also pass necessary journal entries for the important bills of exchange transactions. Okay? So anyways, आपण orally म्हणायचो सगळ्या journal entries. So here we have to pass the journal entries. So one page you keep it for the journal entries. We don't know how many entries are required. Okay, they have passed 4 or 5 entries over here. So you keep one page for journal entries format. Okay, in our everyday's format. You can keep it like continuation मध्ये करा तुम्ही हवं तर. First page trading and profit and loss. Next page balance sheet. So again, first look into the, if there are so many items, then we need a balance sheet which is quite bigger one. So old balance sheet ला refer करा, and old balance sheet च्या generally double जरी केलं तरी नवीन balance sheet असेल. Okay. So I don't think the balance sheet is going to be bigger here. खालच्या problem मध्ये ती मोठी निघाली. So as half page balance sheet will do. Okay, half page balance sheet will do in the today's sum. So keep half page balance sheet. Keep one page trading and profit and loss account. Okay. सिद्धांत लिहिणारा बहुतेक तो आज एकटाच आहेस. So once you are done with the format, let me know. What kind of ledgers we need? Let us first read the question and then decide. So let me tell you the ledgers. I don't think we need all the data because they have given the bills receivable, etc., etc. Okay, we check how many ledgers do we need. So overall, all information is given. It seems to be opening, closing, सगळे balances दिलेले आहेत. Maybe sales and purchases might be missing in this problem. Okay, problem मध्ये बघितलं की लगेच कळतं का? Because here they have given you the closing balances of sundry debtors, bills, payable, and etc. etc. Okay, so we'll make the bills receivable and payable as well. Okay, so make 4 ledgers, and before that, जर का तुमचे एका पेज मध्ये 4 ledgers बसत असतील तर ठीक आहे. Otherwise, next page वर घ्या and make one page for the journal entry. और जेवढे केवढे ledgers next page वर येतील त्याच्या खालची जागा सगळी ledger journal entry साठी ठेवा. Okay.
मॅम जर्नल एंट्री फॉर्मॅट फर्स्ट येईल ना?
हा चालेल, तसं केलं तरी चालेल. फर्स्ट पेज वर जर तू जर्नल एंट्री फॉर्मॅट केलास तरी चालेल. They did not say it is a part of the answer, right? So it can be anywhere. It should not go into the working note actually. So balance sheet नंतर जागा सोडली तर half page आणि पुढचा half page journal entries घ्या, main answer, and then make a working note. Like they've राहिलेले 4 ledgers, debtors, creditors, you make it on the next page. Okay, so this is the space for journal entry. It is part of main answer. Need not be on the first page. You can make trading P&L balance sheet and then pass a journal entry. It's also okay. Debit amount rupees, credit amount rupees. Okay, rupees the latest sign you can give. I don't have that sign here. Done. Let's read the question. This is illustration number 6 we are doing. Tell me the page number. Illustration number 6, page number 3.28.
3.27.
27. Okay, 3.27 of the Nirali book. Okay. Chalo. So let's first look into the question now. What is all been given? So Gendalal Hazare Ichilkaranji keeps his books of account on the single entry. His balance sheet as on 31st April 2018. That means opening balance sheet is given. In the opening balance sheet, we have G's capital, creditors, bills payable, highlight wages payable. So like in yesterday, we have also here a wages outstanding, wages payable, outstanding wages, opening balance. Cash, bills receivable, data, stock, machinery, tools. Then cash opening balance will be carried down to the balance sheet, to the cash book. Cash book, all the details are given from where the money is received. sales, debtors, bills receivable, sundry income. On the payment side, creditors, wages, house rent, bills payable, freight, office rent, octroi, and factory rent. So wages we have an adjustment. Opening चे adjustment आहे. So wages ला tick mark करा. We'll read the adjustment further. Additional information is given. So here you see, once you read, you know the cash sales, but they have not given you the credit sales. They have given you the closing balances. So when the closing balances are given, probability is that we have to find out the credit, purchase and sales. Okay, because closing balances are already given. So closing balances of debtors, receivable, payable, BR, stock, etc. Remaining items of transaction, this will be all related to the debtors and creditors, discount, bills receivable, discount received, bills receivable honored, dishonored, etc. This adjustment, loose tools were revalued at 1650. Okay, so did you purchase a loose tool newly? इथे कुठे नवीन loose tools दिसतायत का? नाही. So you had an opening balance of the loose tools. So have an adjustment. So you can tick mark that item. Making in the new balance sheet, we have to do some adjustment. Then last line, goods amounted to 350 were used by Gendalal for his domestic purpose. No entry has been made in the books. So in short, what is this? Goods amounted to 350 were used by him for personal use. म्हणजेच काय थे? Drawings. Right? So it is going to impact our capital. So when we do the adjustment, we'll do this. So they are required to prepare trading and profit and loss account. So let's come to the solution. Let's start with the first page. So come to the opening balance sheet. Always tag the opening balance sheet first. So from opening balance sheet, whatever we need to write, let's pick it up. So first one is capital. So I have to write the opening capital in my balance sheet. This balance sheet is as on 31st March 2019. Mention here capital. Write down below that opening capital. Okay, put it to the inner column. We need not make a statement of affairs when opening capital is given. So 14,850 opening capital. Then we have an opening balance of creditors. So let's pick up this opening balance of creditors, put it to the creditors account credit side. Buy balance brought down for the creditors, which is 3,000. Check all the numbers are not given in 1,000 or something like that. Huh? कधी कधी छोटे numbers दिलेले असतात. So sometimes they are in okay. Then we have a bills payable. We also have a ledger for the bills payable. So credit side, buy balance brought down for the bills payable, which is 6,000. So put it outer column in the ledger 6,000. Wages payable, we have an outstanding. So when we are going to do wages adjustment, that time we are going to write it. Then we have cash. Okay, so cash is going to be brought down here. So we need not do any adjustment. Next one is bills receivable. So come to the bills receivable ledger debit side. To balance brought down. Bills receivable is 3,000. Put it to the debit side. Then debtors opening balance is 3,750. So this 3,750 opening balance of the debtors. So put this debtors account debit side to balance brought down 3,750. Okay. Then there is a stock, machinery and loose tools. So stock, opening stock goes to, put it up to open opening stock. Trading account,
Debit side.
So come to the trading debit side to opening stock. That is rupees 3,000. Put it to the outer column. Okay. Done with the opening balances from the opening balance sheet. Next, come to the cash book. First attack receipt side. So first line, cash sales, rupees 5,000. So come to the trading account, credit side, buy sales, put it inner column, cash, below that credit. Okay, so put it cash. Cash sales are 5,000 from the cash book. Cash account debit to sales. Cash one impact is already given. Second impact काय करायचं आहे, सेल्स मध्ये लिहायचं आहे. Okay, next adjustment, two daters. That means cash account debit, two daters. Correct? So cash account is debited, daters account is credited. So go to the daters ledger, credit side. This is nothing but cash collected from the daters. Come to the credit side, write down by cash. 12,000 is collected from the daters. So put it 12,000 here. Next is two bills receivable. So 11,250, two bills receivable. That means we have collected 11,250. That bills receivable, bills become honored. So cash account debit, two bills receivable. So cash book debit impact is given. So go to the bills receivable credit side. Put it here by cash. Credit side 11,250. Okay. Next is two sundry income. That means we have received some sundry income in cash. So cash account debit, two sundry income. Now where do we put the sundry income? Is it the part of the balance sheet or trading or profit and loss account? Sundry income is part of what?
Profit and loss credit.
Credit side. Okay, so come to the profit and loss account credit side. Keep one line blank for GP. After that, buy sundry income. So one impact, single entry here, one impact is given in cash book. Now we are giving the second impact to the P&L. Credit side 250. Done. Next, now come to the payment side. Okay, so on the payment side, first line is by creditors. That means we have made a payment to the creditors. So when we make a payment to the creditors, what is the journal entry? Creditors na payment केलं तर creditors account debit to cash, right?
Cash.
So creditors account will be debited to cash. That is 5250. 5250. Next is buy wages. Now wages have an adjustment, but how much is paid in cash? 3150. So what we assume, 3,150 includes the outstanding wages of rupees 150. So previous year outstanding was 150. Okay, there is no outstanding for the current year. We have read all the problem, all the adjustment. There is no current year outstanding for the wages, but previous year outstanding were 150, right? So in that 3,150, first of all, we'll write this to the trading account debit side because it is related to the trading. So first write two purchases below the opening stock, put it cash. After that credit, we don't know if there is going to be the returns. So keep one or two lines blank. After that, put two wages. Put it to the inner column. How much we paid in cash? 3150. So accountant thought this is the entire expenditure. So he put 3150. But this is not the expenditure for the current year. Why? Because that included previous year outstanding of 150. Okay. So previous year outstanding has to be deducted from the current year expenses because it is not the expenditure of the current year, even though it is paid in the current year. We have to assume 150 is paid in the current year. So we'll say outstanding wages of previous year paid. That is not the expenditure of the current year. So deducted. So there is no outstanding of the current year. So that's it. This is going to be the adjustment. In the yesterday's problem, what we had, if you go to the yesterday's problem trading account, we had two adjustments. One is the current year outstanding plus the previous year we deducted. So current year outstanding we add, previous year outstanding we less. In today's problem, there is only previous year outstanding that we paid during the year. So that will be deducted. Clear with this adjustment? लक्षात राहील आता है?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the current year expenditure is 3,000. Now, what is the impact of this adjustment on the second part of the balance sheet? So in your balance sheet, actually, opening balance sheet, you had a wages payable. So if I write it over here, wages payable as an opening balance sheet, 150. But then I paid this during the year. So this is no more liability. So I would say less paid during the year. You can present this. You can also not present this. Even if you don't write anything, it's fine because the amount is getting the zero, right? That ledger is becoming zero. But if you at all want to show this movement, you can show this in the balance sheet because there is no current year outstanding.
मॅम परत एकदा सांगा ना हे बॅलन्स शीटचा इफेक्ट.
So balance sheet मध्ये you had an opening balance of 150, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now what is the journal entry that you will be passing now? When you pay in the current year the outstanding wages, the entry is outstanding wages account will be debited. 2, you actually put this wrongly to the wages account. So you have to reduce the wages. So you will be crediting this to the expenses, wages of 150. This is the journal entry. What is the impact of this journal entry? वेजेस मधनं वेजेसला क्रेडिट केलं, एक्सपेन्सेसला क्रेडिट केलं, म्हणजे एक्सपेन्सेस मधनं लेस केलं आपण ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट मध्ये. व्हॉट इज इम्पॅक्ट ऑफ दिस डेबिट? एखाद्या लायबिलिटीला जर का तुम्ही डेबिट दिलं तर काय होतं? लायबिलिटी वाढते का कमी होते?
कमी होते.
कमी होते. So I had an opening balance of liability 150, but now I passed another entry because this was not passed by the accountant. He made a mistake. So when I pass this entry current year, 150 will be reduced from this. So my liability becomes 0. Okay. So
Yes, ma'am.
even if you don't show this, तुम्ही काहीच नाही दाखवलं ह्याचं, वेजेसच नाही लिहिले तुम्ही बॅलन्स शीटला एक्झाम मध्ये तरी पण चालेल. Because it is ultimately becoming 0. But if you want to show the movement, show it properly. 150 minus 150 becomes 0. ठीक है? Okay. So we completed here cash book, wages, house rent. Are we supposed to pay the house rent from the business? Can a proprietor pay the house rent from the business? No. In short, this is the drawing. So there are 2 drawings. One at the end also given, he withdrawn the goods for the personal use, right? Domestic purpose. And then this is another drawing of the house rent. So we have 2 drawings. So keep here 2 lines blank for net profit, etc., etc. After that, less, put drawings heading. How to write this? Drawings liya. Below that, write down house rent. First drawing we get to know house rent. Put it to the inner column. Okay. So that is 1650. I will put it to the inner column. Even though I don't have any column, but I will put it to the inner side. So that total of drawings, I can take it to the outer column. This is the second impact given of the drawings. Next. Dila na hai kadalo?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the second part, bills payable. That means we have made this much of bills payable. So we have honored it. So when we honor the bills payable, what is the journal entry? In fact, for this also we can pass a journal entry. Na? Bills receivable cha related hota na? Okay. So let's pass a journal entry for this bills receivable and bills payable also, because they have said pass the important entry for the bills. Okay. So let's pass. This first entry we pass, right? Cash account debit to bills receivable. Actually, let's pass the entry. Cash account debit, because they have asked the journal entries. Now, so let's pass the cash account debit. The journal entry for this bills receivable I'm writing first. To bills receivable. To bills receivable account. So we have got the bill 11250 से 11,250 चे bills honored झाले. Okay. So when the bill become honored, we'll say being bills receivable honored during the year. In bills receivable honored during the year. All these entries will be passed 2019, 31st of March. And when we come to the cash book credit side, we paid this much of bills. So bills payable account debit to cash. Cash is going out. The second entry. Same date, second entry. Bills payable account debit. Bills payable account debit to cash account. How much we paid? 9,000 bills payable we honored. That's what it is coming to the cash book credit side. So being being bills payable honored during the year 9,000. Okay. Now what is the impact of the journal entry? What is the impact? Cash book the impact gela. Cash book we have credited, right? So one impact has gone. They are maintaining single entry. They don't know how to give a second impact. So we are converting the single entry into the double entry system. So bills payable account has to be debited. So go to the bills payable ledger, write down here to cash. We paid rupees 9,000 say bills payable. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now next we have freight. Now freight, office rent, octroi duty and factory rent. None of these have the adjustment. So we just have to pick up the number and put it at the appropriate place, either trading or profit and loss account. Okay, so the first one is freight. Where do we put the freight? We are giving the second impact. Cash is already credited. So come to the trading account debit side to freight. Put it to the outer column 1,200. Second one, office rent has to go to the P&L. So keep one line blank to office rent. एक लाइन छोड़ दो, आगे की लाइन पे लिखो to office rent 2,500, no adjustment, outer column. Next is octroi duty. Where do we write the octroi? Generally it is assumed octroi is paid on the raw material. Okay, so octroi duty is again put to the trading account. So to octroi duty, put it to the trading account debit side 2,800. Next is factory rent will again be debited to the trading account. So to factory rent, if you are going to forget the octroi rent, star mark. So when you do the revision, Lakshat rahe ki what we have to write there, where we have to write it basically. So factory rent 1,000. So what is the cash balance left? This is the cash balance left. Where do we write the cash balances? To the balance sheet. So come to the balance sheet. There are not much of the assets. So keep only 4 to 5 lines blank. We don't have any investment. So you can directly start here with the current assets. Okay, so we have a cash balance. Closing cash balance will be returned to the outer column 4,200. Generally, we are bound to forget this. So as soon you attack this, just generally we forget if they don't give us in the closing balances. And if we don't compare the opening balance sheet, then we are bound to forget. So as soon you look at that number, pick it up and place it at the correct place. Done with the cash book?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, additional information. So they have given all these closing balances. All the closing balances, we have to write it twice. One is the closing balance sheet and another one in the respective ledgers. Because from ledger, actually, they will be picked up to the balance sheet. Okay? So we'll first write down them into the ledgers. So sundry debtors is having a closing balance 6,000. So come to the debtors ledger. Debtors have a debit balance. So balance carried down kutla side la yenar hai? Where the balance carried down will come on the credit side, right? So by balance carried down, the first one is debtors closing balance is 6,000. So after all the adjustment, these are the closing balances given. Okay. Then we have bills receivable. So bills receivable will also have a credit balance. तो जहाँ कहीं पे भी टोटल लेने वाले हो उसके पहले लाइन पे लिख दो by balance carried down, which is 6,750. Next one is sundry creditors. It have a credit balance. So balance carried down will come on the debit side. To balance carried down. Opposite side lal hai sir. Balance carried down 3,750. Creditors is having 3,750. आर यू एबल टू नाउ ऍटलीस्ट तुम्हाला असं वाटतंय का इंडिपेंडेंटली तरी पोस्टिंग करता येतील काही तुम्हाला? और स्टिल डू यू नीड अ हेल्प, लाईक कुठून कुठे फ्लो करायचं? येस, डू यू थिंक ऍटलीस्ट फ्यू थिंग्स यू कॅन डू इट इंडिपेंडेंटली?
येस मॅम, हे ऍडिशनल इन्फॉर्मेशन करता येईल.
आणि कॅशबुक
पण येईल करता, बट थोडस अजून एक समनी प्रॅक्टिस होऊन जाईल.
ओके, सो bills payable is 7,400. Closing balance will be written. Oh, sorry. Bills payable चा balance जो आहे तो डेबिट साइडला येणार आहे. Sorry. Okay. So bills payable have a credit balance. So balance carried down will be on the debit side. So to balance carried down. ठीक है? Which is 7,500. Check it once. Debtors चा closing balance will come on a credit side, carried down. Bills receivable चा balance will come on a credit side, balance carried down. Sundry creditors, the balance will come on the debit side, to balance carried down, and bills payable balance will also come on the debit side, to balance carried down. Okay. Then we have a closing balance of the stock. Now stock have two impacts. Okay, so we have not created the stock ledger. We don't need, but it have two impact. One, show it under the balance sheet. So closing balance sheet, outer column 4,500. Second impact, what is our trading account, credit side. So keep two lines blank by closing stock. Put it to the outer column 4,500. Done. Okay. Then they have given the remaining transaction, which again we have to give the two impacts because this is only the additional information given. Okay. So first one, झालं इथपर्यंत completed?
Yes ma'am.
Okay, first information, discount allowed to the debtors. So how much discount we allowed to the debtors? 3,750. When we allow the discount to the debtors, what is the journal entry? Discount allowed account काय होतं? Debit, right? Discount allowed account, don't pass it in the journal because it is not related to the bills. Huh? Discount allowed account debit to debtors account. So this entry will have a two impacts. Discount allowed will be posted to the P&L debit side. So to discount allowed, put it 375 to the outer column. Second impact, it will be credited to the debtors account. So come to the debtors account. Balance carried down सगळ्यात शेवटी लिहायचंय. All the adjustment has to come before that. By discount allowed. 375. Here journal entry is discount allowed to debtors. Next, bills receivable endorsed. Now endorsed, go back. Have we written the entry for the endorsement? If not, we are going to write it over here. Okay, anyways, when we do the endorsement, we have to pass the entry here. So let's come to the journal entry format. What do you mean by endorsed? Give that bill to your creditor as if you are making the payment, right? तुम्ही तुमच्या क्रेडिटरला तुमचं बिल्स रिसिवेबल हे asset देऊन टाका and ask him that creditor will go to your debtor and ask the money on the due date. So when you endorse the bill, like जसं तुम्ही check handover करता, like same way you can hand over the bill to somebody else. When you give your bill to somebody else, that is nothing going to be your creditor. So creditor become the receiver. So debit the creditor's account with the amount of rupees 2250. And what is going out from your business? Your asset is going out. What is your asset? Bills receivable is your asset. So right to receive is going out. तुम्ही तुमच्या क्रेडिटरला चेक देण्याच्या ऐवजी तुमच्याकडे जो बिल्स रिसिवेबल होता तो हँडओव्हर करून टाकला. Right? So now he will take that bills receivable and go to your debtor and ask the money on the due date. So this is the entry for endorsement. Creditors account debit to bills receivable. So being bills receivable endorsed. Okay. Being bills receivable endorsed. They will not say endorse this to the creditor, but obviously तुम्हाला पैसे कोणाला द्यायचे असतात? तुमच्या creditorला. So you will give this bill to your creditor. Done. Let's understand the impact of this. Creditors account is debited, bills receivable account is credited. So go to the creditors account debit side. Creditors account debit side to bills receivable account, that is 2250. क्रेडिटर्सचा बॅलन्स कमी होऊन जाणार कारण की आपण त्याला बिल देऊन टाकलं, आपली लायबिलिटी संपली. ओके. सेकंड इम्पॅक्ट, बिल्स रिसिवेबलचा बॅलन्स पण कमी होणार कारण की आपलं ऍसेट निघून गेलं. सो कम टू द बिल्स रिसिवेबल क्रेडिट साइड, बाय क्रेडिटर्स 2250. Okay, done. Both the impacts.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Next one, discount received from the creditors. Think when the creditors give you the discount, what is the journal entry? Rough मध्ये लिहायची तर लिह. Creditors gives you the discount. That is income for you. And creditors balance is reduced.
Discount received होतो ना ma'am.
Discount received, correct. So creditors account काय होणार आहे? Debit.
Debit and discount received credit.
Correct. So 975 creditors account is debited to discount received account is credited. Okay. So creditors account debit to discount received. So creditors account la debit kara. So go to the creditors account debit side to discount receipt. The amount is 975. Go to the discount received. We don't have a discount received ledger, but where do we put the discount received? On the credit side of profit and loss account. So by discount receipt. Okay, by discount receipt. Put it on the credit side, 975. Given both the impacts?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, discount receipt च्या आधी म्हणजे जो सेकंड इम्पॅक्ट दिला, फर्स्ट इम्पॅक्ट कुठे जाईल?
क्रेडिटरच्या डेबिटला. क्रेडिटर्सचा बॅलन्स कमी होणार ना, that much money you are not going to pay to the creditor ना. So creditors account debit side.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So creditors accountच्या debit side ला. To discount received, and then discount received, we are not creating a ledger, so put it to the P&L directly credit side. Done. Okay. Next one, bills receivable dishonored. Now they have not said here these are the bills which we endorsed. Okay, so there are two entries for the bills receivable dishonored. One is this, and another one is, look here, bills receivable endorsed dishonor. Okay, so there is a difference between the two. So bill was with me and it got dishonored. What does that mean? की मी गेले त्या डेटरच्या दारावर, बिकॉज बिल माझ्याकडे होतं. whoever have the bill, he has to go to the dater. So on the due date, I went to on the doors, right? I went on to the door. The meeting will get disconnected. You can connect after immediately. Okay, so let's cut this and I explain in the next meeting. Okay, let's cut this call.